Messing out the medicines. We've been on that rock star regimen, knowing that I'm heaven sent, higher than I ever been. I got a problem with.
This is Totally Blitzed podcast. Talk your shit, Kev. Your team won.
Hey, what? Wait, what my dog said? Hey, them boys in Atlanta, they don't play, yeah. Hey, them boys in Atlanta, total case, yeah.
Someone should have told Scam Newton.
Atlanta, go bananas for you monkey niggas.
Ooh. Sorry, Marcus. Sorry, Marcus. Panthers got done in by who? Them boys in Atlanta.
See, it feels good. Don't get me wrong.
This is Totally Blitz podcast, the show with shots. There's a Modelo, smoke.
Come on now.
And of course, football. I'm Paul Pick'em, Wyndham, Concha Man with the big beard, making even bigger bets every week. And as always, I'm joined with the boy from Atlanta himself.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not from Atlanta, but I got some boys in Atlanta, and they told me crazy out. You feel me, man? Fuck what you heard. But nah, man. Hey, this was week 14, bro. And week 14 was another great ass motherfucking week of football. But here's the greatest part, right? We gotta wait for it, Paul. Kev stayed up the whole Sunday.
Whole Sunday.
But guess what? My computers and technology was all fucking down. So I caught everything, but I most definitely had to click play and refresh and jump to this screen and jump to the fix the TV screen and fix the computer screen. I was playing DJ. Like I was all fucking Sunday trying to watch all these games. But this week was lit. I feel like we had a lot of close matchups, and I feel like the games. I don't feel like the score. There weren't too many crazy close scores. I feel like the games really went down like they were supposed to. Like shit was crazy, kid. Yeah. Like,
and all I was gonna say real quick was it's either the game was close or it wasn't. There was no in between this week.
We had what, like 2 OT games, 3 if the Steelers, 3 if Freeman had caught that motherfucking. You got Lamar going out, and then you got what's their backup?
Tyler Huntley out of Utah State. He ain't no slouch.
He's not no hoe. Like he is not no hoe. Like you got that boy doing anything. You got the motherfucking. Yeah, the Saints looking dominant again. That's interesting.
And then there were 6 games that a team won by 20 or more.
Crazy.
And it goes one or the other.
But the game I want to start off with is 5-5-5. The game I want to start off with is what happens when the wrong motherfucker does the belt. What happens, Paul?
Before we jump around, I know what you're talking about. Do you want to jump into Pretender versus Contender before we jump into the week?
All right, you know what I'm saying? Because this week was crazy. So let's start off with a quick warm up before we get into the madness.
And I'm gonna jump around with the NFC teams this week just because I don't have the NFC list in front of me. I'm just looking at the scores from the week. But I got all the teams in front of me.
I was about to say just name the team and I'll tell you the quarterback. I just named the division. I'll go one by one. I do this NFC shit.
Okay, we got the NFC North. We got the Packers. I feel like that should be easy. Aaron Rodgers. Contender for me. Any team.
The contending contender. Like, they're defending contender. Like, he didn't win a championship, but he's been the number one contender for a motherfucking minute. So, like, this got to be the year because we saw the 49ers go to 2 Super Bowls in the past. We saw two NFC championships. We saw the Jets go to 2 AFC championships. We saw the Patriots go to AFC championships. But this may be Aaron Rodgers' last chance to go to the championship with the motherfucking Packers. So I'm taking them boys as motherfucking contenders. Fuck what you heard.
Yeah, I think that's an easy one. This one, we got Justin Fields. He's young on the Bears. I'm not going to say Andy Dalton just because he's in his final years and he's not the starter when Justin Fields is healthy now. Anything from Justin Fields' play that shows you he's a contender, or does it show you that he's a pretender?
I think he's a very, 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 very talented young pretender. But, like, not in a pretender in the sense that he's pretending to be good, but just, like, you don't know where he's going to go yet. So, like, he has these up and down games and stuff like that. So he's not pretending to be bad. He's not pretending to be good. He just needs to know where he's going. So he can't be considered a contender immediately because their team isn't really contending. And, like, he contended for that starting spot and won that motherfucker. So he's gotten up. He's won one of the battles that he needs to continue winning. And he gets better. He's talented and stuff like that. So I'm gonna give him the pretender title. But like we know Justin Fields is gonna be a contender one day if he continues to play out like he does. Very talented.
I'm gonna give him the pretender. I think you're being a little nicer to him than what I'm gonna be. I just think
that game really made me that first half and that second quarter made me think, okay, Justin Fields is promising. Because I was talking to a Bears fan at the Van store because we off the walls, and motherfucking we was talking about, and I was like, bro, I like Justin Fields, but Matt Nagy, and I don't know if Matt Nagy's a bad play caller, bad coach. I can't call that, but I can say that they don't just mix all the time. Like their things don't. I don't watch a lot of Bears game. I don't keep up with Bears film, but I know two things. Andy Dalton has a raw ass beard.
Yeah.
And motherfucking Justin Fields is talented, and he can make throws and he can make plays to get the game to the gate in the middle of a game. And this is only his first year doing this shit. He can get better. But like you can't go down the way Mitchell Trubisky. Please don't go that way.
Just to me, I just don't see anything from him. Like his running is okay, but I haven't seen him really like that game though. He did make a couple shakes, which I would like if he added because he's elusive. If he added more elusive shit to his arsenal, I think he'd be more scarier as a runner. But yet right now, all he does is run for like the first. He runs as if he doesn't have the wheels he does. He just runs to get that couple of yardage and gets down. Then I
feel like he'd be running for his life.
And then with his throwing ability, I mean, I don't know. I'm not too sold on it because you can say like it's the scheme, but he does have Allen Robinson, who was 1,000-yard receiver, even with Trubisky and the shitty old line that they had last year, even with Nick Foles. And then Darnell Mooney, who's kind of becoming something himself. Jimmy Graham, Cole Kmet, David Montgomery, like they're pretty good players.
I don't think they don't have the commission. I just don't think they have the chemistry.
Yeah, but
that's big.
To me though, his closest thing for me would be like a similarity to like Jalen Hurts, where like he has the ability to run, but he is gonna pass a little bit more than what Lamar would do. But yet I just think Jalen Hurts' first year last year, even though he was backup, well, it was kind of similar. He was backed up for like a lot of the time, and then he came in because Carson Wentz has shitted the bed so much. They're like, fuck it, go to Jalen. And he beat the Saints first start, and then, of course, they only win a couple more games, they lose some. But I just think first year, Fields is just a few steps behind where Hurts was as a first year, and that's why I'm giving him the pretender. I just don't know if he can develop it quick enough to become this superstardom that everyone thought he might have in him.
I look at it to end that one right there because like we got to get to the next one. But like I just look at this shit like Michael Parsons burnt that nigga in the race. Like motherfucker, these defenders are like faster than a lot of these kids, man. Like these defenders, like the only reason why like I like that everybody can rush and stuff. I just don't like when people get compared to Lamar just off the fact that like Lamar's faster than most defenders. Like it's not the same way. Like maybe like 5 years ago, maybe in 2011 before Von Miller, like it was you could run a 4.4 or 4.5 as a quarterback, and like you can be considered a freak of nature athlete. But now it's more like you can do that. You kind of just do that because like you probably didn't play quarterback your whole life. You probably played like a lot of other positions. Like Michael Parsons was the number one running back in Pittsburgh when them boys got not Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania when them boys got recruited, and he went straight to defense. Like I feel like that's what it is mainly because like these motherfuckers is fast. So I'm not mad at them boys, but like we'll see. He's promising. I just think if they really just keep that chemistry and keep them young around him and just keep building around him and don't change everything, like they got a chance. Because the Bears have never been a dumb team in history.
No. All right, we're gonna kind of fly through these other ones. We had the
we finished
Kirk Cousins in the Vikings. I'm giving contender just because I think he is top 12 quarterback, and as long as you're top 12, I think you're considered a contender.
I think just the way you play, because like I feel like there are a lot of I have like a ranking in my mind. I don't really have numbers, but I just know like okay, I keep these quarterbacks in these tiers, these quarterbacks in this tier, Chris quarterback in this tier. So the tier I have in my mind for Kirk Cousins is in between the top elite and the really, and then the good and the good. So there was like a top elite, a good, and an average. I'd have him in between the top elite and good, just because of his I think he's a great quarterback. I think he can make moves, but I feel like he has a really good team around him. And
Yeah.
like he doesn't always show that. But like his team is fucking awesome.
So you putting him in the contender because he's like right
Definitely.
outside the elite. Okay, and then
Definitely.
Jared Goff. I've never been a big fan of him, so he's super pretender to me. Outside of what just his skill set is, his cost. Like you also got to take that into idea of like he's getting paid like he's a top 5 quarterback, and he's definitely not. And on top of it all, I just remember one thing. Troy Aikman on his first year when he got picked up by the Rams, Troy Aikman came to the camp or whatever to watch him throw, and he looked at Sean McVay, or not Sean McVay, whoever the coach was at the time, and was like, that's your quarterback? He can't make a throw to save his life. And then all of a sudden, Sean McVay made him look better than what he was.
I don't want to say Jeff Fisher was a quarterback at the time. I could be wrong. But I was just watching some Jeff Fisher shit about when he was a quarterback in Tennessee. Hey, man. That nigga trash.
Yeah, just trash. After his last year, he is just going to be a backup, I believe, though. Like after he gets, because he's the only reason he's starting is because he's worth $25 million. And outside,
we're talking about JG. I'm not gonna lie to you. I definitely for like this. I don't like this nigga just slightly, and not because of that. It's just he just has no drip. Like I just don't like. I just feel like he just has no drip. Like this is. I'm big on drip. Like I feel like that's a very big part. Like you can your team can be getting blown the fuck out, but if you get your sack and you make that and you look at the quarterback and say what, like that's drip.
That's drip. Yeah, and drip.
Jared Goff is a nigga. Jared Goff is a nigga. He's the nigga you saying what to. What? And he's just like, next play, please. That's how I look at Jared Goff. But who's next?
The NFC East, we got Dak Prescott.
Contender.
Since his rookie, I think he's been solid.
I think if he didn't get hurt, he would be.
His rookie year, he took him to like 15-1. Him and Zeke went together. Crazy. Yeah.
Lost in the playoffs though, but no, so we not gonna say no.
And then we got Tyler Heineke, who kind of came in as a backup.
I mean, he's not a contender, but he's not pretending to be anything that he's not. Like, he's not the most accurate quarterback. He's not the best athlete, but like he goes out there every win and he does what he can to win. And like they done got some good dubs. Like they was on that 4-game win streak. They done beat the Bucks. They got some good dubs on their own belt. I want to say they beat the Falcons. I could be wrong though. And like they should have beat the Giants, or they didn't beat the Giants. I can't remember how that shit went on Monday night.
They didn't.
But so yeah, like the Heineken. Remember you had the Heineken?
Oh no, they did win. They did win because we brought the Heinekens out. Yeah.
Yeah, so Heineke, whoever Heineken dropped the bag by not getting that sponsorship. But so he's the pretender, but like he's not really pretending to be anything. He's not. He's just like not on the greatest contending team in one of the most in a dominant in a competitive division.
Yeah, no, he's a pretender. But do you think because this is kind of, I guess, audition times 2, because after the NFC playoffs last year, and then now he has a whole season. Do you think he's at least a starting quarterback in the league?
I mean, I feel like a starting quarterback in the league is somebody that can get better because, like, regardless, they're going to come at you when you're not playing well. So, like, Big Ben is a starting quarterback. Been a starting quarterback in the league his entire career, but like this year he's not putting up starting numbers, so he's not really a starting caliber. So, like, are you willing to get better? Is he willing to get better? I don't know that, but I think that he's a solid starter at the moment. Like,
okay,
if you have a good running game and you can protect him, and he has some great receivers around him, so he can just put it out there. Because, boy, I can't remember Brent's name, but number 11, the thing he put on Trevon Diggs' kid, I almost pulled out this pistol. Like, bro,
Chris Sims. That's like his third stringer.
Bread of truth. They got some receivers over there.
And then the Giants, we have Danny Nichols. I'm way out on Danny Nichols. I've never thought he was that good. Even in college, he wasn't that good.
Is he still playing right now? Did he play on Sunday?
No, he's been hurt. Mike Glennon's been starting, but from the Sports Gambling Podcast, Ryan Kramer, huge Giants fan, himself believes that that may have been we may have watched Daniel Dimes' last snap as a Giant quarterback just because how bad he's been. And they're trying to, get rid of all the losers over there. They might fire the GM. Everyone's getting let go.
Blow it up. And one thing I do like about blowing shit up in football, I feel like it works a little bit better because, like, a lot of bad teams be like, like you had an entire expensive ass team and got 6 wins, and then like you had a bad team and get 4 wins. Like, but you save so much more money. You got so many picks, and you can build upon that next year with your new coach that you spent the entire season looking for.
So super pretender.
The Pretender's Pretender, but like I just say that because I thought
The people's pretender.
The people's pretender, but I just saying that because I thought Danny Wills was going to be the truth. Remember, I sent you my bold predictions list, and
We
I
both
got all
were
of them
wrong.
right. I got all of them right except that one. I said Josh Rosen was going to the Dolphins. Went KD, the second Kyrie signed with the Nets. I said KD was going to the Nets. No, I said that before Kyrie signed because I knew Kyrie was talking to him. I seen Kyrie got signed by Rock Nation, so I was like, the Nets look kind of promising. And I said one more thing, but I said Danny Dimes is going to be the most slept on player in this draft. And I must have knew that because I would fall asleep anytime I watch him playing. I think that's what I must have meant. But I think if he had a better system and a good running and like a good running back that stays so that way he can I think he could be like a better version of Sam Darnold on a different team. Like the Saints could use him.
I don't know if they're get rid of Taysom though for Daniel. Just because honestly, you know how much I'm not a Taysom fan. I'm taking Taysom before I take Daniel Jones.
For 40 mil?
Oh no, I'm not paying him 40 mil though. That's a complete different story.
That's how much you gotta pay. That's how much you gotta pay him on.
Where I would pay Daniel Jones 40 mil not to play for my team. That's how much I hate Daniel Jones as a quarterback. I've watched a lot of his games because like being a secondary Cowboys fan, I watch a lot of the games. They play twice a year, and there's just never been he can run well, but I just think it's because no one's afraid of him throwing. That's the only thing you can say that's good about him. It's like, oh, he can run the ball. Well, okay, so can now half of the quarterbacks starting in the NFL.
That's just off of them because I remember being in Little League and seeing like all the white boys that could get off. And like now I'm seeing this shit in the NFL and being like, oh, that's what we was doing. Like Michael Vick really fucked this shit up. Cam Newton and them boys, Cam Newton, Colin Kaepernick, all them boys fucked this shit up.
And then we got Jalen Hurts. I would say he's a contender just because I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of Sirianni. They didn't run the ball for half the season. They were losing all those games. The moment they start running the ball, they start getting some dubs under their belt. Then I just think I like Devontae Smith, but Jalen Reagor has been a bust. I can't rename another wide receiver outside of Jalen Reagor and Devontae Smith. He's kind of like all their offense outside of now that they've been running the ball 40 times a game. But prior to that, he was half of the rushing yards and all the passing yards. And then everyone still is like, well, Jalen sucks. It's like, well, to me, it was always like, well, he's your whole offense as of right now.
So yeah, your whole offense sucks. If you think your quarterback sucks. But no, I think he has a really good O-line. I think he's a contender. I'm not a big Eagles fan, but yeah, I think he's a contender.
Yeah. I always look at it as like, would I be upset if this guy was my quarterback? That usually sometimes helps me with those like last contenders at the bottom. Like, oh, I want to be mad. I would actually be kind of happy Jalen Hurts is my QB. I want to be shitting on him like half the Eagles fans do.
Say less. You want to go into the next two, or you want to say those for the next recap?
We can say those for the next recap just because this one took a little while.
No, I low-key liked how we did this one. The kind of like not real breakdown, but you went into it a little bit more. Like we said a couple extra. I like how this shit.
A little debate too, kind of like just.
Dude, I like that shit. Hey man.
But what game NFC you wanted to
South
jump on?
Man, come on, man. You know
I know you already had it.
I'm talking.
It's on a Sunday night. We talking Justin Fields versus
A-Rod. We're talking Fieldsy. Let's talk. Let me tell you about in the field real quick. But before we get into this, can we take a second? I'm disgusted. I'm genuinely disgusted at the moment with I understood because my goal in life is to make a difference and change the media, but the media is genuinely some bullshit. Like these niggas is embarrassing. Like I was on YouTube today and I was looking for stuff, and I remember seeing Justin Jefferson tweeted last night. It wasn't Odell fault, so y'all are clowns. Not only did that tweet. Not only did these people didn't bring up Justin Jefferson's play. These people don't bring up what he did that day. Not only did that tweet get brought up on the Monday night, like it literally got put up on the fucking screen. This shit got motherfucking Skip and Shannon spent 22 minutes and 46 seconds talking about Justin Jefferson's tweet. And I'm just sitting there like, y'all some bitches. Like, y'all that's what y'all do now? Like, y'all bring up, that's what the media is. That's what's entertainment. That's sports. That's speaking on people's just genuine talk.
What I've learned with the media is they rely on anything that's trending. And if you know anything about Twitter, when you trend, it's 90% of the time it's something negative. You're trending because you did something you weren't supposed to. You did something that people are talking about. You did something that it's a little controversy. And that's now, to me, the media relies on like, oh, well, Justin Jefferson was trending last night because of this one social media post. And now that's going to be the segment on Get Up and First Take and this for like you said, 8 minutes, 6 minutes, 22 seconds. Whereas
22, 46 seconds.
Let's go back to like 1990 ESPN, a young Stephen A, an Ernie, or something. Like they were only bringing up like the stats, and then Charles Barkley was arguing with the fans here. Like this is like a little, let's show the little recording, but it wasn't. It also is prior to social media, so like now everything is talked about. Whereas like it is like bigger than just the game, where you want to like it's good for some things, but it's bad for some things because now the media can target shit outside the game to be like, well, he's not a leader because he tweeted at 2:30 in the morning when he had practice at 6 in the morning. What are you doing not sleeping before practice? Like shit like that. It's like, come on, man. Like
that's like genuine bitch shit. Cause like those are situations like where we come from, you see niggas that look at you like, bro, you talking about another man?
Talking about another Shannon man. Loves saying that, like, well, I'm never gonna talk about another man's money. I'm never gonna do this, but it's like, bro, like you gotta keep that same mentality in every lane, not just one lane.
I look at him like that's Unc right there. That's Uncle Shannon. If I ever seen Shannon shout, Unc, what's good with you? But like,
I fuck with him.
Nah, I'm gonna be like, but y'all be on some goofy shit. Like, what are y'all doing to push culture? What are y'all doing to make things happen? What are y'all doing to make other people, young athletes that are watching this want to get better versus gossiping? Like y'all niggas is lame.
Same with like earlier this season. Earlier this season, it was Unc who was the one that was talking down on Lamar to go, because all he did was run routes with some high school football players on a tennis court. And he was talking like, oh, bro, Lamar, your bag, bro, you're worth $50 million. And all it takes is a slip and you're out of the game for a whole year. Like, what are you doing? And Lamar said, like, bro, I care more about my community and helping the younger generation see a man who grew up where they grew up and be able to play ball with them in a tennis court than my $50 million bag. That's not the first thing on my mind when I'm doing this shit.
Facts. Niggas is goofy, man. And I fuck with them boys. Like I feel like I would fuck with these people as characters, like their character as men. But like as like just like what is a sports like? It just makes me ask the question, what is a sports journalist? Because you guys are really just entertainers, but y'all try to speak, but a lot of people speak as if their word is final when it comes to sports. This is like, shut y'all bitch asses up. So I appreciate.
No, my back, continue.
I appreciate anybody that doesn't support. I want to say doesn't support this shit, but like that goes out and branches off to go find other ways of media to catch their sports, because what we've known is goofy. Like we got to change that. We got to do something about it, because what we've known is not okay. That shit is weak.
I think it's also when you get to that platform and it's gonna be hard. Like you have multiple things going on. It's hard to watch all these games. Like me and you have a hard time, and these men, I have to watch all these games, all the basketball games, all the base, like little things. And do I think they're really watching all of them? Probably not. They probably watching a good amount of them. But then I do believe there is a team of writers on the show that like, oh, I didn't catch the game right. Like, and they write them a little like, here's the box score, here's something to point out, so sometimes it might not even be their words. It might just be the team of writers' words behind them. But hey, you hired them, so those are your words.
Yeah, so like, yeah, that's how I come, man. Antonio Brown said it best. Y'all boys is clowns. And I seen that snippet on Twitter, and I thought like, damn, what's his beef? And now I'm looking like, y'all are really entertainers, but y'all promote, y'all pretend to be like, y'all use the word analyst, so it can pretend as if you're a professional, which you are. You get paid to do what you're doing, but it's like
loose term.
Yeah, like it's a very loose term. Like if y'all knew as much as y'all did, y'all would be coaches. Y'all wouldn't. I'm not a coach. I'm on a podcast talking about this shit. Like I be telling people I know less than 4% of what goes into a football.
I heard from someone who was an analyst himself. I can't remember what show I was watching, but he was like, I don't like when people call me an analyst. The only reason they call me that is because I'm now on TV talking football. But when I was talking football at home, I was just another person talking football. But the moment you go in front of the cameras on ESPN, now you're all of a sudden a football analyst that apparently knows it all. And he goes, that's not the case. None of these people know any of the things. It's just, like you said, it's entertainment. It gets 1 million views.
So I appreciate anybody that supports just outside, not just our podcast, but outside news, because everybody knows that the news and the media is very, very cut, very funneled, very tunnel vision, and very what's the word that you used earlier?
What?
You said that like they it's very like
tunnel.
I
just know, yeah, they just pick and choose though. Like they'll pick a guy that they like, Aaron Rodgers. They don't like him. So it doesn't matter how good he does in the game. No one cares about that. But let him show up in California without a mask on or some shit. Like that's gonna be trending everywhere.
Let him say he has COVID toe on the Pat McAfee joking. You'll see it on motherfucking the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal front page.
And I think, analysts are. They're gonna analyze, but they're gonna do it no matter what. With journalism, is just like, you have to be a grown person. Like I can watch the Pat McAfee show, and if he was to say I got COVID toe, I can clearly tell it's a joke. He's saying it in a funny way. People are laughing as he's saying it. But then the analysts or people on the social media, whatever, they're gonna put the quote with no context, and then be like, "Does Aaron Rodgers like to make fun of people who die of COVID?" And it's just like, bro, like, come on, like it's just we're going a little too deep.
He's a goofy.
But let's talk about it. Aaron Rodgers.
Let's talk about it.
Class act, 4 touchdowns, 341 yards, 45 points put up as a team to beat the Chicago Bears. It was close early at halftime, 27-21.
They were losing. I believe. What was the first thing that you saw about this game?
It was very close. One thing I noticed after, I didn't like in the moment, I was kind of caught up, but then like hindsight looking back, one thing I noticed was Bears got most of their points on big plays. Like it was the Bird 60-yard or 50-yard touchdown catch, one of his only 2 catches. And then Grant, who former Dolphin punt returner, loved that boy, Mighty Mouse, 1 catch, 46 yards touchdown. So 100 yards and 2 touchdowns came from those 2 passes by itself. And if you take that out of Justin Fields' stat line, he really only had 16 completions, 120 yards, and no touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So to me, it was like they did good when they hit the big plays, but where Aaron Rodgers and better teams are going to kill you is the fact that they're going to hit consistent plays the whole game, for the medium game, for the short game, and slowly and methodically come down and score points. Whereas you might need a big splash. You might need something to happen. You might need a missed tackle. And once the halftime, they adjusted. Bears only put up 3 points after half. Why? Because all the big plays were kind of dead.
Oh man, I thought this game was interesting. If you look at the box score in the first quarter, it was 3-0. The second quarter
went bananas, boy.
The first quarter is 3-0 Bears. The second quarter is 24-21. And you're just looking like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I remember watching this shit. I don't think I had this game on the big screen. No. I tried to watch this, but my fucking TV kept going in and out. But every play, somebody was scoring. Like, I turned in Anthony Lazard scoring. That shit was a nasty route. Then, motherfucking, I turned on again, Devontae Adams scoring on 4th and 2, which was interesting because I watched on Aaron Rodgers Tuesday before this, and they really broke down how they did that. Motherfucking, they say that they had to put Devontae in the slot because motherfucking Jalen Johnson is a number 33. He was balling. He was doing his thing to keep on. I can't say like it's Devontae Adams is like KD to me. Like you can't really contain him forever, but you can stop him sometimes. And when you do, it feels really fucking good. And like so you can win your matchups. And Jalen Johnson was winning his matchups, like real shit. And he was doing his thing that whole first half. Like he was balling. But that 4th and 2 was nice. They said he did a down and out and up and from the slot, which isn't something he'll normally do. But what really got it open was the fact that they put motioned can't remember his name, something W. And Brett took off, and when he took off, that safety had to go help. and like Jalen Johnson was already guarding him on the outside. So Devontae Adams, and then there was another receiver that got a crazy mean block, and this is on a 4th and 2. Like most people would just go to the check down. You got Aaron Jones on your team, but nah, them boys was balling, and then they was making a lot of moves. They was capitalizing on mistakes, but the two things that really got to me was Akeem Grant and that fucking punt return, 95 yards. You can't do shit. What the fuck? That motherfucker
Green Bay.
Fast. That motherfucker is fast. But AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones, I feel like was really, really, really solid this game. AJ Dillon was bringing them down. He had 15 rushes for 71 yards. A lot. They brought a lot of shit down. They brought it down a lot, and Aaron Jones was just capitalizing and taking off. And then that second touchdown when they said that he was like the 5th read, and so Aaron Rodgers had to look through everybody and come back to him, and then he made the joke that like that's just how he read it up in practice, like because they say the NFL is literally you sit down and you scheme, you make a play, you scheme to this person to be open just for you to get into the game, and it doesn't happen like that even slightly. So that shit was cool. Now they made the joke, hey man, it's just how you did in practice. And then he talked about he saw Favre do something like that in 2005 in the preseason. And that was
set.
And
that's crazy.
That's fucking nuts. Like that's how much football you understand, like how much football you out that you can go back to that. And I don't think you can go back to that in the middle of your play, but it was just like he said that he remembered that and just being like, when he seen him do that, like, damn, I wish I could go into a zone like that where I could just go back to bro, because you're not supposed to go back to bro. It's fucking insane to be able to go through all your reads and then go back to the last one. That shit's insane.
No, and another thing that was really crucial to me was the turnovers, whereas the Packers had none, whereas the Cardinals had 2. And I felt like this week was huge for that. Whereas if the team had more turnovers, they lost. And I feel like that, I don't know the exact numbers this weekend, but almost every game where it's I just remember specifically the Kyler Murray and the Rams on Monday night, which we can jump into if you want. But Kyler Murray threw a couple picks, whereas they didn't have any fumbles or turnovers on the other side, and that kind of helped out in the final say of things.
But yeah, literally Robert Quinn, baller. He has 13.5 sacks. That I'm going off what Aaron Rodgers said. I'm not sure exactly.
No,
so
you're
baller,
right. 13.5.
So baller, but that was not a good idea. And you seen what happened. Aaron Rodgers.
He's from the 2011 draft, which we were talking about in the other episode. So he's another person who's still here around. How many sacks he has? And this is year 10, 11?
Yeah, it's year 10. All the noise is in year 10 this year. That's insane. Yeah, that's cool because that means I've been watching football 10 years now. That's just kind of cool.
It was a close battle early, and the Packers, I just think they cleaned up their game coming second half. They didn't let the big plays kill them. Special teams, they kind of tightened up a little bit better.
And they got Devontae working, like Devontae rolling. Once he got rolling, it was a wrap.
I don't know his numbers, but in the first half, he may have only had 1 or 2 catches. I just didn't see much of Devontae.
Hey, who is Big Dog? Is that Randall Cobb?
Who? Randall Cobb's on the IR.
Oh, who's Big Dog? They got somebody that they call Big Dog, and they be
He's probably Lazard. Lazard's a big guy. He light skinned, and then the only other one is Marvelous Vantine Scantling, and he's like a 6'4", 6'3". He's darker.
It might be Lazard, but they got somebody that they call Big Dog. Like that's what they kept referring to as Big Dog. I did this with Big Dog, and I'm just saying like, what the fuck is Big Dog? I'm Big Dog.
Well, hold on one second. I'll pause it. And we're back, and from another word from our sponsor.
Hey man, see, look, and this is a word from our unofficial sponsor, because when I get the sponsorship, I promise everybody that was watching this episode is gonna be clean as fuck. Anybody that watches this episode is gonna get clean and freshened by me. Just pull up the screen recording. I got you, because today we got the Vans sponsorship today. I got my Vans reusable bag, $2.99 for charity. You know what I'm saying? You uncharitable ass motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But let me show you what we got today. You know what I'm saying? We got Vans off the wall in the bag still. I'm gonna show you that one live. But first, let me flex on you. I know you see the Vans hat. Ooh, I know you see, but wait for it. Oh, the bow. Come on, man. Come on,
bow
man.
tie to finish it up.
It's Christmas time, and you know I'm a Falcon, man. So I had to get get my Christmas socks in. Come on now. I know you see the Vans logo. Come on now. Vans, go ahead and sponsor me already so I can get everybody clean. We only gonna make y'all millions. And then I had to get the Vans shirt. This is the reason why I spent all this money though, because this shirt was calling me. And I had to get some shit to go with it. This shirt, right? You see it's normal. I know you see the
flip it on them.
Motherfucker.
Oh,
now
nasty.
I only respect aliens that eat pizza in the moon with a peace sign up. I'm just saying. All the aliens from Men in Black, y'all ain't like that. Over here in Vans, we off the walls, man. But you know, this is an unofficial sponsorship because the niggas didn't pay us a dime to say this shit yet.
Yep.
What's the next game, man? Now that we off the walls, what's the next game, Paul?
This one, it was ugly to start with, and it was a close one to end with. The Cowboys beating Washington in Washington after Mike McCarthy basically told everyone, yeah, we're going to beat them.
Let me tell you why this game was hard to watch. Not because the Cowboys literally obliterated them boys. And there were times where they tried to make it a game. I want to say they scored a touchdown late. Didn't they like make it 8-27 or something like that?
No, it was 27-20. The Cowboys scored 24 early in the first half, and then they kind of didn't do shit. And then the Washington pick six. Washington had a pick six in the fourth quarter, which made it a one possession game.
And then Bud freaked the fuck out of Trayvon Diggs. I remember. This is at the same time the Bengals game was going into overtime. So like you kind of had to choose one or the other. And motherfucking this game was lit. They think I didn't watch this game well, but like the Redskins the football team really tried to stay in that bit. I don't know Taylor Heineke's numbers, but like they were killing Trayvon Diggs. Like they were really coming for his head, and it was just like, fuck.
I got you. This game, I was one of the games I paid the most attention to because some of the games started going fucking berserker in the 1 o'clock with blowouts, and basically. It was not early. 24-0 walking into halftime. Cowboys are up.
That's what I remember.
Randy Gregory tips a pass, gets the interception, pick six. Micah Parsons forcing a fumble, another defender picking it up, scoring the touchdown. Parsons had like 2 sacks at halftime. DeMarcus Lawrence had 1 and 2 defensive touchdowns early. And so they were really getting at him on the D line. That's what I was trying to tell you when I was texting you. I was like, bro, this D line it doesn't matter who's doing what. It's like this D line is not allowing shit. It reminded me of the Patrick Mahomes versus the Bucks in the Super Bowl, where it was just like, bro, this defensive line is killing this man. And then Tyler Heineke, he does get injured. He got concussion or something, or he just tweaked something, but he only had 122 yards, and he left the third quarter. Heineke left the third quarter, I believe, and so did Scary Terry with a concussion. And so it was really like the will of the team that kind of brought them back in. To me, it looked like a team that was rallying behind the fact that we just lost our quarterback and our star player. Like, we had nothing to lose. Let's just throw it all. And they rallied back, scored like 20 unanswered points, making it 27-20. And to me, though, why is Dak throwing the ball up 2 scores with 4.5 minutes left? Like, you guys, I know there was no Pollard because he was injured or COVID or whatever, but Zeke didn't look too bad. Corey Clement, he had 13 carries, 44 yards. So it was just like, y'all were running the ball. Why did y'all just stop? Like, I don't know. There's a few things with this Cowboys team, or to me, it's just like mismanagement by the coach or the offensive coordinator. And it's just like, of course, the offense is going to be the team that gets shitted. Like, oh, why did Dak sucks? He threw that pick six. Like, bro, why is Kellen Moore calling an offensive play call? And why is Mike McCarthy okay with that? So there's things like that I think they got to clean up if they want to make a push in these playoffs. Washington, on the flip side, I don't know if Heineke's going to be healthy going forward. Allen didn't look that good. And Scary Terry has a concussion, so he might not play next week. And that's not good moving forward for a team that's trying to get that last spot in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I thought the last spot in the playoffs was going to go to somebody in the NFC least. But I don't know. That was the team right there. Like, They rallied behind Chase Young getting hurt, and they looked like they won how many in a row? Like 4 in a row. Them boys was balling, but we'll see if they can pick up another streak.
Yeah, and shout out to Parsons. I got a forced fumble and 2 sacks, a whole bunch of QB pressures. And he moved up, I think, to like the 2nd or 3rd favorite in defensive player of the year. And if he gets rookie defensive player of the year and defensive player of the year, he'd be the first person to do it since Lawrence Taylor in 1981.
That shit's insane because, bro, the truth.
And he's a part-time pass rusher, which is crazy. But the next game we had on coverage. We had the next list was Ravens and the Browns. Lamar going out and early, like the second quarter, start the second quarter, he went out. Tyler
Didn't he go like 2 for 3?
No, 4 for 4 for 17 yards, but he also got a sack. But Tyler Huntley, quick side note, I know you say you didn't know too much about him. I'll just catch you up before you go into your recap. He's from Utah State or Utah. I can't remember which one, but he's from, and their team won like a 9-4, 8-3 seasons, went to bowl game. He was like similar to Lamar. He was the leading rusher, the leading passer. He was really fast. So that's why they drafted him in like the 4th round a year or 2 ago, because RG3 was leaving, and they were like, well, we need someone with a similar skill set. And Tyler Huntley, someone with a very similar skill set.
I respect it. Let me know, man, what happened, dog? Because I was keeping up with this game on the red zone, and who's eating on this game for the Browns to have gone up to get the lead? Because then if they go up like 24 quick.
Yeah, in the second quarter, up like 24-6 or something, 24-0. I can't remember who scored, but Baker Mayfield. I started him in some of my like FanDuel leagues where you make a lineup every week and stuff. Only because I knew Marlon Humphrey was out. They're already hurt with the DBs already. So Marlon Humphrey was the last straw that broke the camel's back. So I was like, Baker Mayfield's going to look good here. And he didn't look bad, 190 yards, 2 touchdowns, but those all came early. And Lamar didn't do much. I mean, 17 yards in the whole quarter of his first.
He hurt his ankle, man.
I know. What I'm saying is he still played a whole quarter of football before he went out. He went out in the second quarter.
How many drives did he play, though? He probably only threw it like 4 times.
I think he played 2 drives. He had a couple runs. Yeah, he had 2 runs, 4 passes, and of course, Devontae Freeman had a couple runs on those drives too.
Bro, Devontae Freeman got whacked one play, and I was like, damn, boy, my bad, dog.
My big thing, though, was similar to the Cowboys. Browns put up 24-0 and then didn't score nothing in the whole second half, which means the other team game planned. They realized where they were going to beat, learned to fix it, and then the Browns kind of folded after that.
R.I.P.
And but shout out to I think Myles Garrett. He got the strip sack fumble recovery touchdown or some shit. So it was kind of like, damn, Micah Parsons is a beast, but so is Myles Garrett. So is T.J. Watt.
He's gonna have his time.
Yeah, he's still young.
Hey, this that Jay-Z hat. I feel like this how Jay-Z wore all his hats in the 2000s.
But my question for you, because after this week, Lamar might not play next week, and they play the Packers. And so if Tyler Huntley played, let's say Tyler, because it is an ankle sprain for sure. And everyone knows Lamar needs his running. He's not known to be the pocket passer. So you're going to need at least some of his mobility for him to be who he is. Moving forward, I know you're a Ravens fan as well, or Lamar fan.
I appreciate you for saying it like that.
Do you think the Bengals or the Browns or the Steelers might take this first seed? Because it's all like one game away. Like they're all very close, and they got the Packers next week. And Lamar don't play. I mean, you kind of write that up as a loss almost. And like the Bengals have a better divisional record where if they have a tie, they'll take it, stuff like that. So how do you view this division now that Lamar's hurt?
Steelers out of there. Browns out of there.
Fuck out of there.
Like, let me just get them out of there. I mean, they can make something happen because that's the beauty of the 7th seed. Something can happen, but out of there. Like, nah, out of there. So it's up to Joe Beasley, and like them boys just lost. Them boys just lost. So like, can they win out? No. So like, can the Ravens get back to that team that was in the beginning of the season that was running the ball with no matter who they had? Lamar was able to cut through. Can they get back in the lab and figure that out to become the best team in that division, go back to the best team in the division, the team that was number one in the motherfucking number one in the AFC, and the team that really started showing that like, yo, the Chiefs aren't all the way there yet this season. Like, let's take advantage of that shit. The person that started out. So I look at them boys, that division, as it looks a lot more open than it is, but it's really between the Bengals and the Ravens. And like, if you check the power rankings right now, the Ravens are like crazy low, so that shows you the power rankings are stupid. But like,
I think the only reason why the power rankings have them so low is because they're probably under the assumption Lamar might not play this week, and same with
I think they just played some really ugly games. They probably played like 4 ugly games in a row, so like that doesn't look too good when you're trying to see like who's better than everybody.
That's what scares me for them, is that when they won from behind a lot of their games, and that was something you even pointed out. And like, now as the season's kind of rounding up, it's kind of like, hey, bro, like Lamar's a little hurt. Like, I don't know. It's just something to keep an eye on for me. Just like, hey, like this winning method is not the best way to win games, and it will.
Yeah, like it's caught up to the Chiefs. Like the Chiefs, their whole Super Bowl run, they were down 10 points. Like there was no point. There was no point in that season, that playoffs, that they weren't down 10 points. But they still came through and won that shit. And it's like that shit eventually catches up to you, because this is the NFL. Like niggas isn't gonna just continue like giving that shit away. Like, especially if they seen somebody last week get that shit away. Unless you're the motherfucking Vikings, like, you're not gonna keep going through the same shit every motherfucking week. You're gonna do something about it. And that's what individuals are doing.
Well said. Well, jumping into this next segment.
Right, week 14 was so lit, man. Man, I love me football, kid. This shit was lit.
An unofficial sponsorship of Modelo. Mexico.
Hey, when we get the Modelo sponsorship, that's when I'm doing the commercials. I'm doing all the commercials. You're going to see Paul.
They can be like Snoop Dogg on the Corona commercials?
No, I'm doing the commercials. Like, I'm directing them bitches. You going to be the one Snoop Dogg watching the football game. You doing all that. Yeah, wait till we get these sponsorships. That's going to be the difference.
Tony Romo and Corona time.
Yeah, that's gonna be I'm gonna have you looking like the most interesting on the world, Dos Equis type, and it's gonna be up with that rock tequila.
This next segment is, of course, the boring block, or blowout block, however you want to call it.
The blowout block. That's what we're gonna call it this week, because there was a lot of them.
Starting off with the Titans beating the Jaguars 20-0. Trevor Lawrence throwing 4 interceptions. I mean, the Titans don't look all the way there. Of course, they're hurt, but they did just blow them out 4-0. So shout out.
Hey, I'm gonna let you talk about this again. I just want to talk about what I heard about this game. I don't know if this is true, but I'm just going off of what I heard.
From basically Trevor, they would have not a good drive, but they wouldn't go 3 and out, and then next thing you throw an interception. James Robinson had 6 carries only for 4 yards. Carlos Hyde had a carry for 2 yards. So it's like run game put up 8 yards total. And that's not going to win you a game.
Right.
On the flip side, Tannehill didn't play bad, but he didn't play good. He ran one in. He didn't throw any in. Julio was back. Julio didn't look all that good, 4 catches, 33 yards. Like, to me, it was like people want to say, well, the Titans are back. They won 20-0. To me, the Titans are definitely not back. It was just they're playing the Jaguars, and you can look good playing the Jaguars no matter who you are. And that's the case. Like, they put up 191 yards passing and 102 carrying, but that's on 34 carries. That's like less than 3 yards a carry. So, yeah, it's just the Jaguars. They blew them out. What else? What did you have to say? You heard some rumblings?
Oh man, bro, I heard some.
If it's what I think it is, if it's about Urban Meyer, it is hilarious.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But I heard, so from what I heard, what I heard, I wasn't there, I just heard. So first off, Vrabel and Urban Meyer were coaches on the same team it was. I don't know what team, but I guess they coached together at Ohio State. That's cool.
Yeah.
But so he said he couldn't even look Vrabel in the eye after that game. And that's funny, because like I don't think a lot of people should be looking Vrabel in the eye in the first place, because that's a real dude right there. But
in the mouth, you don't know what happened.
That's a real dude right there. I think a lot of you bitch ass coaches should be looking in the eye. Mike Zimmer, don't you dare look Vrabel in the eye. But But this was what killed me. The fact that they said that he went into the locker room with the assistant coaches and he told all them, I'm a winner. And he had to make them explain to them why he was a winner. I don't know how true this is, but that shit is comedy because it's like.
That was before the game. That was at like a Saturday practice leading up to Sunday.
That shit's insane because it's just like.
Supposedly. Allegedly.
Yeah, like. First off, this shit should not be getting to the media. This is some shit that should never be taken out of account. Should never be taken out the roof. So I don't know who's snitching, but they don't respect you. They don't respect, bro. Second, damn, Urban, why I did damn? It's like that. I don't think any of this wins football games. So like, that's why I was just sitting there like, that's fucked up. And like, I feel like this doesn't add to the detriment. I think you're just at the point. It's kind of like the last straw. Like. I don't think they're gonna fire, bro, but it's like I feel like they're gonna do some shit like, yeah, we've decided to part ways and continue, and then like just stay retired. They're like, if niggas is talking all that bullshit, just stay retired, and then the shit eventually goes away. Every 3 years, somebody wants Urban Meyer as the head coach. These are facts.
But it's bigger than that because after this year, especially all the leaks that happened, one with him saying he's gonna stay behind for certain reasons, and he stayed behind. You find him at the chop house. And then now him basically lining up the assistant coaches that he hired himself personally. So he chose these losers, supposedly, but he hired these people. And he basically lined them up and told them, like, hey, like, tell me why you're a loser. And they told him and stuff like that. But then Marvin Jones and him get into arguments, him getting laughed out of rooms after him being at the Cincinnati incident, being up in Ohio. Like, I just don't think it's bigger than just one season because now it's going to carry over into like someone else that might be hiring. They might not want Urban Meyer because of the like what happened last time he was hired in NFL. And I think, to me, he might go back to college. He might not, but I think he is done in NFL. But I just think he kind of, like, this is going to be a little dash on his legacy because, like, even Nick Saban, he got booed out of NFL, but he went and conquered college at all different levels. And everyone's okay with that. Everyone's like, okay, well, Nick Saban wasn't the best NFL coach, but he is the greatest college coach of all time. But the Urban, they were like, bro, like, they were laughing him out. It wasn't just boos. Like, it's like no one was fucking with Urban Meyer at all.
And that's just the difference between the professional and the amateur level. Because like you can look somebody in the face at the amateur level and be like, yo, if you say one other thing, I'm gonna kick you the fuck off this team. And like them niggas will shut their ass up because like this is their future. This is everything. Like I know how it feels to sit down and be like, wonder like, damn, I'm not gonna do next semester of college. That's not no good feeling. But in the professional, but the professional, it's, hey, sit down or I'm gonna send you home from practice. All right, I'm out. I still get paid for this shit. I'm gone. I'm still getting my game check on Sunday. Fuck you.
That's one thing I have learned from like listening to Pat McAfee and other pros is just like I didn't realize how, even in basketball, how many people, like, if a coach says something that no one's fucking with, they'll just be like, we're not fucking doing that. And it's when they don't fuck with the coach because they're doing dickhead shit like that, where it's like, tell me why you fucking suck. Tell me why you're not a winner. Like, it's just like, you're embarrassed. Like, you can do that maybe at college, but in the NFL, these are all grown men. Like, no one's going to be okay with that.
And it shows the difference in times. Cause like, you might have been able to do some shit like that. And that shit would have made sense. Like, yeah, bro, he's firing him up. Like, now we just look like, bro, he's a fucking idiot. Like, you're not helping your team at all, like doing some shit like that.
Yeah. But too much time on them. This is the blowout block. We had
damn.
Yeah. It's all cool because these other ones we're gonna fly past. We had the Saints beating the dog shit out of the Jets, 30-9. It was never close. Taysom Hill, I mean, he ran a 40-yard touchdown to cap it off in the fourth quarter. He had like a little 6 or 8 yard touchdown prior to that. I think he's a pretty good running back. He didn't make any too great throws for me. I mean, I don't know. I'm just not sold on Taysom. To me, it works with the Sean Payton's offense, but if you're looking, when Michael Thomas comes back, Michael Thomas is not going to be okay with a quarterback who's missing throws. That's how I view it. When you have an elite wide receiver who's used to one thing and getting 100 catches and 1,000+ yards and being that top 5 guy, he's not going to be okay with mediocrity throwing him the ball. He can work with running the ball and doing the fake handoffs and RPOs and all that shit with Alvin Kamara. Works wonderful. But that's not going to work with MT.
Hey, all I have to say about this game is Michael Thomas coming back?
There's a lot of speculation, like cue the conspiracy music, but they're saying like the reason Michael Thomas took the surgery right before the season started was because he realized like Jameis is throwing me the ball, I'm out. Like, and then whenever he was about to come back for the IR list, and he was like, "No, I got to do like more rehab or something." All of a sudden, it was just like maybe he doesn't want to come back because he knows who's throwing him the ball. But that's all conspiracy. That's all hearsay. The next one on the list, the Chiefs almost putting up a 50 burger, 48 points to the Raiders 9.
Derek, come on, man.
Come on, man. And the craziest thing is, I don't think Kelsey or Tyreek Hill scored. The running backs has had their way with this team. Yeah, 3 touchdowns from the running backs running. Derek Carr had 1. Edwards-Helaire had 2. And then Damian Williams, the running back, caught 1. And then Josh Gordon came back and scored a touchdown. Blast from the pass.
Best manager. He has the best agent in history. Like, no agent will ever, whoever his management is, they deserve flowers, carriages, houses. Like, I'm paying for them boys. I'm paying their kids college fund. Like, he has the best to be in the league still. Literally have to get and just consistently getting a job and consistently going and scoring touchdowns at all these teams consistent. But hey, man, them boys got blown the fuck out. That shit is bad. But hey, the Chiefs are on a 6-game win streak, and like I literally been preaching all season that the Chiefs just needed to start streaking. People are considered on the 4th best team in the league right now. But my thing is, the only team that they've shown dominance against was Derek and them boys. After that, like they're not really doing that. So shout out that defense. I think they're only averaging like 18 or 17 without Derek again when they're not playing against Derek during the win streak. I want to say Patrick Mahomes is like 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, but like 7-0 when it comes to playing against Derek. So like
That's where
can you? All right, they got Derek and them boys numbers. That's good because usually that's the team that kind of upsets them every year because that's the team that goes and shoots it out with them. But what about what are you gonna do when that defense finally runs down on what are you gonna do when I'm trying to think about AFC powerhouse offense because it used to be the Bills. But what are you gonna do when somebody starts running up on that defense?
Systematically, they're not gonna waste possessions in the playoffs.
Definitely. So like, what are you gonna do? Like that's what I want to see. I said they need to start streaking. They're streaking. They're not streaking the way I expected, but I want to see what they're gonna do. Like they got their division damn near locked up. Let's see.
Yep. Shout out 9-4. At one point, I think they were 3-4, and everyone was talking down on them. And now they're like, "What? We're back in the Arrowhead Stadium. We're back in the Arrowhead Kingdom."
All it was is they just had to start streaking. They just had to start winning in bunches.
Next game on the boring block, we had a lot of them this week. 2 more actually. The Broncos beating the Lions 38-10.
I don't even want to talk about it.
I just want to do a quick shout out. I've been screaming his name since episode 0. Javonte Williams, the running back, balling. Melvin Gordon still had more carries his first game back, but like I think he's up to almost 800 yards as the backup running back in rookie season. Like once he gets the starting lineup, I think he's gonna be like definitely top 5, top 7 running back. When it's just him getting all the load. Jared Goff is shitty.
No drip.
No drip. And Teddy, I mean, it's just an easy one. Teddy B made no mistakes, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns, and there's no interceptions, and they just beat the fuck out the Lions. And the next one was the Seahawks beating the Texans by 20, 33-13. Russell Wilson had 2 touchdown passes. Tyler Lockett was balling. DK Metcalf.
Balling. Like, you gotta say it right.
I thought, you know what? My big thing is, why is DK not balling? I thought this was like definitely leading up into this week. He's been missing in action. So I thought, okay, they're playing the Texans this week. Easy win. They're going to give him an easy touchdown to get his confidence back up. Just feed him the ball because they're going to be winning. But Tyler Lockett is just consistently putting up more yards, more catches, nasty footwork, really slept on.
Oh yeah, I don't know, man. DK got targeted 8 times, and like he had 43 yards, but he had 4 receptions for 43 yards, but his longest throw was for 22. So like I'm gonna look into it. But Tyler Lockett's just going crazy right now. It's not much. You probably don't want to. You don't want to fuck up. But the running back went crazy too. I didn't even know that he ate like that. Just had a 47-yard run.
Oh, Rashad Penny. Yeah, he came in there. He's definitely won the backfield. Alex Collins, they gave him so many chances to try to be the number one back since Chris Carson's out, and he just hasn't. He's kind of slacked. Whereas Rashad Penny came in, made his chances. Where he put up 2 touchdowns and like. I know he had a nasty yard, like it's 40-yard.
137, bro. 8.6. He averaged 8.6 a carry. 137 yards.
Yeah, what was his longest? Because he broke off a real long one.
He broke for 47.
Yeah, 47. Yeah, because that was I think one of his first runs, and it was just like, well, we're gonna give him the ball the rest of the game.
And he had no runs for loss.
And then, I mean, to transition out of the boring block, I mean, this could almost be in there, but just because the Giants scored 2 touchdowns in garbage time, the Chargers 37, Giants 21. But like I said, 2 touchdowns in like the last 5 minutes or so.
Hey, how many is that in a row for my dog Jay Herbo?
Wins, I think 2.
They beat Joe Beasley and these boys.
Yeah,
and that's all the same draft, right?
4-3 at home now. The noise don't mean a damn, no matter who's cheering or booing. But next, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. The Thursday game is between them and the Chiefs, so let's keep that in mind as we're stirring through these last couple of games.
Hey man, all I gotta say is this in LA, and guess who flies in LA Thursday?
Oh, that's crazy.
I'm their good luck charm, man. I'm gonna come through with a Lakers shirt now. I don't know. I'm gonna come through with something that says LA, and I'm gonna be like, I'm y'all good luck charm, bro. I got you. Yeah, my Cavs good mojo's in this motherfucker, and this Chiefs winning streak, so I can talk shit all day on the podcast that day.
Well, have a safe flight, my man. Friday, I will be in Miami, so we're gonna be doing this shit from coast to coast, tip to tip of the United States.
Bro, never in your life say tip to tip to me again.
Well, next game, we had the Bengals losing at home 23-26 to the 49ers. To me, it was the best 4 o'clock game. I thought this game was crazy.
Why? When the 49ers turned good? Like, when did this happen? When did this happen? What was your takeaway from this game?
My takeaway, and it has a little bit outside the game, is just about an individual player. Is George, because George Kittle did not play for the first, he didn't play for a few games. He's been injured. But since he's been back, he's been the number 1 tight end in yards, touchdown, catches, longest catches. Like, he's been number 1 across the board and everything. And it's just like Kelsey's been kind of absent these past almost 3-4 weeks. Even though his team has been winning, he was best production was when they were losing and shit like that. But George Kittle, what did he put up? 151 yards, a touchdown, 13 catches. And the commentator for the game, I don't know who it was, but he said, yeah, they got Deebo Samuel, who's great after run after catch, a big play. Brandon Ayuk needs to come in. They don't have a 3rd down receiver, and I think Brandon Ayuk needs to be that 3rd down guy. In my head, I was like, George Kittle's my 3rd down guy if I'm the quarterback. And every 3rd down, who is the person who made those plays? George Kittle. And I was like, you don't need that wide receiver when you have Kittle. And my takeaway was, I might be thinking especially in fantasy football looking forward, because I'm in the playoffs in all my leagues, and I have Kittle in one and Kelsey in the other. I think Kittle's the best tight end moving forward. It's just the way that he is the number 1 guy, even with Deebo getting fucking 8 carries and getting targets on the wide receiver. Like, he's still getting his no matter what. He's just the best.
Yeah, I'm taking Kittle number 1. I'm not gonna lie to you.
What did you take away?
This game, I came in. I liked the ending because I was like, I wanted to see, because I chose the Bengals like a dummy, and I liked that the game was lit. The game was hard fought. They didn't stop fighting. I want to see where these last plays at, because I can't remember what my play was.
It went to OT because the Bengals scored 14 points in the fourth quarter. The 49ers didn't score anything. The 49ers, once again, a team that had an early lead, and in the fourth quarter, just like the Ravens came back but lost, and just like the Washington football team in the fourth quarter put up a lot of points. Like something about this week in the fourth quarter.
They put up 14 points in the fourth quarter after only having 6 the whole game. That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like in the fourth quarter, they came in balling. Same way like the Ravens did, the Washington football team in Pittsburgh did on the Vikings. Like all these teams, for some reason this week, fourth quarter was their magic.
Who missed it? Was it the 49ers that missed the field goal to end the game?
No. They went to overtime and the Bengals scored a field goal.
Nah, but there was I can't remember. Was it this game? There was a team that they went into overtime. I want to say it was this game. Like somebody did some stupid shit and like there's because the Bengals. I could be wrong, but I gotta go check the film. But I remember I was watching it. I can't remember if this is this game I was watching because I remember I was watching. There were 2 games that went into overtime at the same time. It was this game and the Bucs.
The 49ers missed the field goal. It was a 50-yard field goal.
Yeah, and they missed it in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
This game was great. Now overtime was rigged. I'm gonna take away from the overtime because both those teams showed up in overtime. The Garoppolo just really made that last pass to really take it. But the 49ers is balling right now, and they're balling through the air. Like that's something I'm not used to. Like I've never been able to see. I didn't think Jimmy Garoppolo could average like 250 yards and consistently throw like 2 touchdowns. Like because he had like 298 with 2 touchdowns. Like
yeah.
And this is like they might have like 3 games in a row or something like that right now. Like they're balling right now.
I like that.
So like the 49ers look like they're streaking. They're about to take that last. They're gonna sneak into a spot in playoffs. But like, and if that defense picks up, this team is very, very scary. Like this is who I thought the Packers were gonna play in the championship. I'm not gonna lie to you because I thought they was gonna get the offense back together. But
get the band back together.
But the Rams, 49ers, that tier is looking real scary right now. The NFC is about to get kind of tough. But, like, if this team continues to play like they're playing, they got a little shot in the playoffs now. That's what I took from it because I was watching this overtime, and I was like, because the Bengals got their field goal immediately, and I was like, okay, the Bengals got this. Because I had the Bengals as a pick, but they show a fight, and I'm not used to that from the 49ers. They showed that they had some, like, grit. And, like, a lot of their losses have been close losses.
Yeah, and they got 5 sacks. Like, they were, like, something that...
5 sacks?
Yeah, and a lot of them came early. Like, that's why I thought they were winning a lot was because I was like, bro, every time it looked like the Bengals last year's offensive line that was blocking for Joey B.
That's not good.
And then on to the next game, we had another 4:00 OT game with the Bucs coming out winning after the Bills' late surge, putting up, once again, a team that put up 17 points in the fourth quarter, balling out.
This game was embarrassing. This game was terrible because, like, first off, the boys didn't even run the ball the first half. Like, the Bills did not run the ball not once. And Tom Brady and them was tearing that defense up because it looked like they couldn't just cover bigger receivers because, like, Mike Evans one-on-one with anybody was looking like a matchup nightmare. Chris Godwin, even though he had that last touchdown, he was looking like a matchup nightmare. And Gronk they was just nothing but nightmares the entire first half. And the fact that the Bills didn't run the shit at all just showed you, like, they're going to live and die by this throw. And they lived and died by it, but they caught a full steam because I was watching the entire first half, and then that's when my TV started fucking up, so I just started doing push-ups and shit. But motherfucking, how did the Bills turn this bitch around? Because that game wasn't even slightly close the first half. And first off, fuck the Bucs fans, because the Bucs fans that we talked to, they didn't talk nothing until the game was over, as usual. And tell me how the fuck the Bills turned that shit around.
But to me, one thing that stood out was the Bills' defense coming into that second half. Let's see. I don't have everything in front of me, but in the second half, 1, 2, 3, 4, the Buccaneers had 6 possessions, but one of them was one play where they kneeled the ball to go into overtime. So they really only had 5 possessions. And they had 4 punts on those 5 possessions. And Each one of them was at most 4 plays. So that's 3 and outs. The Bills, they scored. I'll give them that. But this Buccaneers offense was as heralded as unstoppable and everything, which they looked in the first half. But once again, the second half, these teams come out as super early leads. And this was the story of almost every game was teams were dominating in the first half. Then in the second half, I don't know if it was adjustments made by defense, but I would give the shout out to the Bills because they forced out of the 5 possessions, 4-3, basically 4-3 and outs, which set up for the Bills to score touchdowns and field goals that brought them back in the game, forced overtime. And then the Bucs, everyone knows in overtime, Rashad Perryman took like, what was it, 66 or 70-yard fucking pass to the house to end the game. But, hey, shout out to the Bills' defense that second half.
That was the Chris Godwin?
No, that was Rashad Perryman.
Oh, I was giving Chris Godwin flowers for no reason. I take my shit back.
Yeah, because like this one, 4 plays, 8 yards, punt. 5 plays, 13 yards, punt. Field goal, and then 3 plays for 1 yard, punt. 5 plays, 10 yards, punt. Like that was all second half, and that allowed the Bills to basically come back and score because they were not.
Yes.
Yeah, and they didn't take no time off the clock. Like that's what the Bucs are known for. There was no long drives outside of that field goal because it was nothing but fast 3 and outs.
It's not looking good. That defense better turn up or ain't no repeat.
Hey, but now the Buffalo Bills are 7-6 on the outside. They're on the outside team on the playoffs on the AFC just because how deep this AFC goes. You got what, the Chargers, Bengals, and the Bills, I think, in the AFC playoff picture, which is that's a scary wild card 3 team.
Mm-hmm.
Next game on the list was Monday night. The Rams, who I said was going to beat Kyler, they looked good. They made no mistakes. They didn't have that good of a run game, but Matthew Stafford looked fucking amazing. Defense looked great. But what did you see in the game?
I saw motherfucking Odell. Odell looks fucking great. Odell looks great. But I just saw a team that I just saw a team that was clicking really, really well. Because Cooper Kupp, they couldn't do anything about. I don't even got to check his numbers. There was not a damn thing the boys could do about Cooper Kupp. Matt Stafford
catches, I think they said 13 catches, 23 yards and a touchdown.
Nice, and it was cool. And Van Jefferson. It was cool because Van Jefferson. They were showing that Van Jefferson's dad is a coach on Cardinals.
That's pretty
and
dope.
I was like, oh, that's cool as fuck. So they're showing Van Jefferson score and his dad snapping on the niggas on the side. Why'd y'all let him score? Fuck wrong with y'all. And they were showing how Van Jefferson was getting real frustrated and stuff like that. And they've never showed a third receiver that was getting about. So I showed them okay, maybe their dad that was a low key thing that was in there. They got a lot of that was just a low key thing that was going on. They were doing just back and forth with the dad and motherfucker. That shit was cool. But that's what I saw. I saw offense that was really clicking. I saw a team that rallied because they had a lot of COVID problems.
No Ramsey.
But at the same time, the Cardinals weren't no Sherms. The Cardinals didn't go out. I don't think D-Hop and Kyler had the best chemistry in the beginning of the game, it was good. This showed both these teams definitely. I feel like they run it back. It's this is a game they're just gonna have to run it back. They're just gonna have to run this back in the playoffs.
And this is a big game because now the Cardinals fall to 3rd in the rankings for the playoffs instead of getting the first round bye where they were sitting at. But I kind of like the Rams going into here. I thought they got their mojo back. They look good. The chemistry's there. But one big key takeaway for me was just the interceptions that Kyler Murray had. Not just the interceptions, but the difference maker was the downs. Kyler Murray had the interception in the red zone. He threw the other interception. And then the turnover on downs where D-Hop dropped the pass and kicked it up and shit. And like you said, D-Hop, 5 catches on 12 targets? That's not normal. They just didn't have the chemistry going. I know one of them was a clear-cut drop on D-Hop's part, but in some other targets were late in the fourth quarter on some jump ball type shit trying to win the game. So of course take those for what they're worth. But the Cardinals, like you said, aren't no bitches. They'll come
Yeah.
back. Yeah, they're still 10-3. They lost to a really good team, a team that had beaten the Bucks earlier this year. So it's not like they lost to a team that's like 5-8 or some shit. And then
them boys got a running back. But I will say one thing about the Cardinals though. James Conner is nice. James Conner is looking like there's a reason why the Terminator came back to handle, bro. Like James Conner looking kind of like a good, like a low-key snag. Like bro had the one-hand catch, he had the touchdown. Like he's been doing this all season. Like he's been stepping up, man up, next man up. Like James Conner's looking like a very nice pickup for them boys.
Yeah, and if you're shouting out on the Cardinals, I'm gonna shout out on my side. Shout out to Aaron Donald. He's been quiet, but he put up 3 sacks, 3 tackles for losses, and everyone knows he's always getting the double team and shit. So like, he's been one of the most. Aaron Donald.
Oh no, I was about to ask. I remember did one of the linebackers get a pick like Leonard Floyd or one of them boys?
It might have been Leonard. I thought it was Von Miller. Maybe I can check real quick. No, you're right. Yeah. The 10th one where he is big 6'5" ass. I thought you talking about the 30-yard return. But yeah, he tipped it up, caught it. Those are this athletic beast on that D line.
Strong. I seen that shit and I was like, damn, this individual plays like lineman. This boy, if he plays in the box,
hey,
boy, you get your ass back there at safety. I need you.
And one way that teams win in the playoffs is by just rushing 4 and just dropping 8. And this is a team that you can definitely win with just rushing 4. So that's something to look forward to in the playoffs, especially with how heated the NFC is.
That's interesting.
And so then we got Thursday night.
Hold up.
What?
You forget something?
Is there another game? Oh, I thought we talked. Oh, we didn't. Oh no, we didn't open with it. Let's talk about it.
Come on, man. Come on.
Let the Panthers. My bad. I apologize.
Yeah.
My bad. I did forget one game. It was your team beating the shit out of the Panthers. Not beating the shit out of them, but they bust them in Carolina with Scam Newton. Matty Ice didn't look bad. Cardwell Patterson, Mike Davis. Tell me about the Falcons, Kev. Tell me about them.
Bro, let me tell you about
in the hunt. Falcons.
The dirty birds. You feel me? The number 2 in the division. You feel me? Know what I'm saying?
Ooh, that's nice.
Know what I'm saying? This is nice because especially since we get to play the number 3 team last game, and you know what I'm saying, as long as we keep winning and we bust day ass, it's gonna stay like that. But this was a great game for the fans. Like we was on Falcons Twitter stand up. We was in that bitch lit. We was jumping up and down, Jordan, because we never really was trailing crazy like that, and nobody really did anything that was too crazy. I think the offensive line, shout out the O-line. Protection was there. Like protection was all the way there. The mistakes was minimal. Receivers, there were a couple, there was just a couple off time stuff like that, but nothing too crazy. And like we never let the game get out of our hands. We kind of just played it, and it was always our game to lose. So this was a great game, but shout out the O-line. Like O-line pass protection that was there. And the rushing game is there now. Like we got a running game. Like y'all forgot, y'all didn't know we had 2 good running backs that you could just go. Because it's tough to deal with. Because that's what Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon are so good about. Because it's tough to deal with that power back running down your throat the whole drive, and the next thing you know, they put the speed back and he gets a touchdown. So it's tough to deal with the motherfucking Mike Davis big ugly ass and Cordell Patterson fast ass out there catching passes and all, doing whatever you got to do. And shout out Russell Gage. That boy had some great ass motherfucking routes. AJ Terrell, did he get a pick? I'm pretty sure he got a pick.
Terrell and the homeboy got the pick 6. What's his name? I'll pull it up for you 1 second. Walker. Mikael Walker.
My cousin Kyle Walker. Motherfucking them boys was balling this week. It was a good win. I'm happy for it. We expected it, and we thank the team for delivering because they did that shit in a great manner. It was fun to watch. I love to win. I'm wearing my victory red. Now let's keep going, babe. We got the Lions next, then we got the Bills, then we got the bitch ass Aints.
Yeah, and a shout out because the Panthers were like, I want to say top 10, top 5 for sacks, and y'all didn't allow a single sack all game, which is kind of surprising with a young offensive line that you had that with what y'all been doing. But Russell Gage is the clear-cut number 1 now. Like now that Calvin Ridley's out, he's been like leading in yards this past few games. He's had a few big games along the way. Kyle Pitts is doing his thing. I know everyone's expectation was to the roof for Kyle Pitts. You yourself, bold prediction was him
re-revolutionize.
Yeah.
You see how George Kittle is revolutionizing it? He gonna re-revolutionize.
Yeah, he'll have it. I think
do it again.
I think in a few years he will be in those conversations for the top 1 tight end. But this right now he's still young, but his numbers compared to rookie tight ends of all time is still comparable. So
this is my thing. This is why he's gonna re-revolutionize, because it's being revolutionized as we speak. Like tight ends weren't doing what they're doing now 10 years ago. In 2011, they wasn't doing that. We had Greg Olsen. Greg Olsen was the nigga doing that. That was it. Like them boys, I'm capping. You got Antonio Gates, Tommy Gonzalez, all that good stuff. But like Greg Olsen was only receiving like genuinely straight receiving every year, like straight receiving as not just a touchdown machine. Motherfucking Travis Kelce, the shit that he did last year, breaking all those records and shit like that, revolutionizing the position. Shannon Sharp, way back in the day, revolutionized. George Kittle, what he's doing right now, revolutionizing the position. And like Kyle Pitts is a product of that shit. And guess what he's gonna do? Re-revolutionize that. I was
gonna say in a few years, like I just think when the Kettle and Kelsey's names are fading out, he's gonna be the torch that gets passed upon to him. And he's gonna be the number 1 tight end.
But that's the thing though to me, because it's not just about, that's why I don't say he's gonna just be the best. He's gonna re-revolutionize. And I keep saying instead of just because you can say Gronk revolutionized the tight end position, like he's gonna because he's doing things that he's already doing things that aren't normal. Like he's more of a Michael Parsons. He has a very similar Michael Parsons rookie year right now, because he's going in the slot. He's going out there. He's spreading them out wide. They're treating him like a receiver. He's big as shit, tall as shit, and fast as shit. So he's probably gonna get a little thicker in between and stuff. But like that's what they're doing right now. They got him running out the backfield for third downs. Like it was a third, I want to say it was 3rd and 7. He got the third down. Like I don't even know what this play is called. I want to call it a drag route from the inside. But he was behind the line of scrimmage, behind the O-linemen. They get that bitch. Like normal tight ends don't get a play like that and then get to cut up the field. Like no, for a third down, normal tight ends ain't gonna do that. So they treat him like a receiver. They put him out, but they still understand he's a tight end. And that's why I think he's going to consistently do things. And when he does get to the point where he's the number 1 tight end, it's going to be because he's doing things that nobody else is going to do. But like these are all high hopes from a very hopeful Falcons fan. I'm just glad that he's balling right now.
He's balling, but those are things, because I'll say Kittle gets like those tight end screens damn near where he's basically behind the wide receivers, behind the line of scrimmage, gets a few blocks and he cuts up the field. So that's why I think Hawkinson was the other product out of Iowa 2 years ago, came in the first round to the Lions, but he's not what Kyle Pitts is. Like Kyle Pitts has.
Don't put them in the same.
I'm just comparing it to like he was another first round. So whenever these Kettles and Kelseys, the other ones who are like cut like that, are gone, who's left is going to be these Hawkinsons and these Fants and these Dalton Schultz and Kyle Pitts. And out of all of them, there's one name above the rest, and it's going to be Kyle Pitts.
You literally forgot 2 of the best young ones in the game right now.
Who? Mark Andrews?
Mike Gesicki.
Oh, Gesicki. I love Mike Gesicki.
And Dawson Cox. I think those are going to be the big 3. Because these motherfuckers got hands. Yeah. Mike Gesicki got hands. Me and Slick was talking about that shit the other night. We was like, don't get me wrong, I'll never say this shit in front of Paul, but Mike Gesicki I seen it in person. Bro got hands.
He moshing shit. But did you so let's jump into Thursday night.
It's a heater.
It is a big one. And I just want to ask you before we go into Thursday night, do you want to talk Saturday night as well? Because there's 2 games popping up on Saturday instead of Sunday.
Fuck it, let's do it, man.
Okay, so Saturday night, not Saturday, but Thursday night, we have the Chargers at home hosting the Chiefs. Chargers are the underdog right now. You're gonna be in LA. Let me know how you feel first.
I'm taking the Chargers, man. I got Jay Herbo. Even though I'm pretty sure they beat the Chiefs earlier this season, so I don't like them to sweep the Chiefs in most categories. But like, nah, I'm gonna take it because I'm gonna be in LA. I'm gonna be giving a good mojo. Chargers winning, Rams winning, Lakers winning. I would say the Clippers winning, but I got the best braids in LA. I'm gonna have the best braids in LA. I would say the Clippers winning, but I'm gonna have the best braids in LA, so it's gonna be tough for them.
Let them know. Let them know.
You know what I'm saying? Sorry, Kawhi. I'm not sorry, PG. But it's gonna be a heater. It's gonna be a great game, and I want to see what that defense versus Jay Herbo can do, because Jay Herbo's been shown that like if you show him a whole bunch of different looks, that inexperience shows up, and like it happens. Like that's what this the NFL is a tough league. They spend all day plotting on your downfall, playing on your downfall and finding competitive advantages. But it's also going to be interesting to see that defense against Patrick Mahomes and them boys, because they're not the fastest defense. They're pretty slow right now. They're not the fastest offense. They've been starting off really slow all season, but this defense has been giving up plays to fucking everybody. You've seen what the only person I feel like they haven't put up crazy plays to was like Joe Beasy in the first half. Like he ended up picking it back up though. Like everybody against this defense has made crazy plays. So I feel like that's what it's gonna come down to. Like who's gonna be the most explosive at the last? Because if they can be explosive and who can keep up that explosive play throughout the game, it's gonna be whoever has the most juice at the end.
You know, I love me a home dog, and give it to me for Thursday Night Football. Big thing is Chris Jones just got put on the COVID list. I mean, COVID is sweeping the NFL right now. There was like 30 people put onto it today. I know for the Dolphins, our whole running back room has COVID. Javon Holland has COVID. The list, I know Chris Jones has, like, there's a whole bunch of big names. Jalen Ramsey was out the Monday night because of COVID. Like, a lot of people are getting hit with COVID right now. And Chris Jones is like the heart of that defense, I think. And he creates the QB hurry ups and the QB pressures that creates the interceptions on the backside, stuff like that. And I think Herbo and them are going to take advantage of that. And I think you being in LA, they got to add a little juice to it. That makes me even more confident in my pick. Jay Herbo, they beat the Chargers last year, the last game of the season. And people kind of wrote it off because it was the last game of the season, but I never forgot about it. I just think this is a team that they're built similar of this. We got explosive manpower, and how are you going to stop it? They found ways to win. I know it was against the Giants, but their whole wide receiver room had COVID. And now Keenan Allen's back. He missed the game. He's fresh. He's ready. Like Mike Williams, like this is going to be a shootout for Thursday night. One of the most exciting Thursday nights.
Hey, but you know what's the best defense to COVID?
What? Let me know. No, see, that's the thing, though. They have the vax cards, so some of them might come back. Like Chris Jones is vaccinated, but I know they get a little bit more lenient for reasons. So, like, if he doesn't test positive, he comes back immediately. But if someone else who isn't vaccinated has to have like 2 tests back to back for him to come back. So people in vaccinations are getting it still. So, but it is a lot easier to come back and play in your game if you're vaccinated.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I definitely got this for LA, and it's interesting that there's all those cases in LA, and it's like that's proof that like I should be on my toes, like wear my face mask, wear my face shield, because like even the professionals is getting that shit out there.
Yeah, be on your P's and Q's. Right.
Yes, sir, man. But let me know, man. There's football on a motherfucking Saturday. Since when do they?
Yeah, be on.
Hey, man. Hey, all I can say about face masks is that I appreciate them because Beards was not winning the entire time face masks were out. Beards were not winning. Like, I was eating. I was eating the whole face mask time. I was eating jawline. You can still see the cheekbones. I was eating. I was born for the face mask.
Ronnie.
But nah, man. So tell me, why the fuck are we playing football? Why the fuck are they playing football Saturday?
Schedule stuff. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I think
it has something to do with Christmas and the NBA.
Yeah, it has to do with scheduling and stuff like that. I have no real honest answer. It's one article, but I was just too lazy to read it. I was just like, cool, we got football on Saturday, another day to watch football, and my Sunday's gonna be a lot easier now that have less games to pay attention to. But
That's
first,
actually a good question. Let's just
while
Google it.
you're looking into it, I'm gonna pitch the game out into the air. First Saturday game at 4:00. Las Vegas Raiders, the Raiders, going to Cleveland, the Dog Pound, to play Baker Mayfield and company. How are you feeling about this game? We have the Raiders, who, I don't know, they've been looking lost these past. I mean, they won on Thursday, Thanksgiving, but they've looked lost on a lot of games since Henry Ruggs has been out. So, like, they're kind of the coin flip team. Are they going to be there? Are they not? Whereas they also are very weak against the run. And then we got the Browns coming in with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. So, toss it up to you.
I want to pick the Browns in this situation, but I feel like the Raiders are going to be very explosive this game. And motherfucking, I just can't count on Derek again. Like, Derek got his ass whooped last week. And you seen what they did to them. Ever since I seen them play the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, I just have like really high upsides of them because I seen that they can beat defenders and man, they can do things. So I'm taking Derek and them boys. I'm not even because like I'm a Browns hater. It's just like I just trust them boys to come through and be an explosive. And it's on a Saturday. Like it's a whole different vibe. This ain't throw that shit, wash that shit away from Sunday. Just throw that in the toilet and flush that bitch down and go back and get a dub this week. And we'll see, man. But the Browns are the Browns.
Yeah, I just think because the way the Raiders were beat last week, it was not through the air, it was through the ground. There's another AFC East team where it looks like they were built to beat the Chiefs and try to win divisional games, but they didn't really build to stop the run. And whereas the Browns, I'm taking their specialty. Give me Nick Chubb, who only put up like 56 yards last week or this week. I think come Thursday or Saturday, he's going to put up like 150 yards, put up some big numbers, 2 touchdowns, and they're going to take care of business. Baker's not going to be needed.
Okay, I found out why they play football games on Saturday. So because college football bowl games and lower division playoffs are going on until early January, the NFL decides to spread their games out for less competition for eyeballs among football fans. And that's from Sports Nation, SB Nation, written by Morgan Mochek, whatever her last name is, on December 21st, 2019 at 1:57 p.m. Gotta let you know, the motherfucking
Thank you,
with the source and shit. You feel me? Because niggas be saying that bullshit. I'm gonna make sure you can run down on their ass afterwards. But
this is why.
Check your sources. But that's what it is, man. So let's get on to the next game.
This is a good game. Saturday night, the Colts at home. Jonathan Taylor and company playing the Patriots, 9-4. Give me Colts.
This is either. Ooh, you taking the Colts?
I'm taking the Colts just because I like Jonathan Taylor to have a pretty good game. And I think Carson Wentz, he didn't have a bad game against the Bucs. Everyone always remembers the bad. Like, okay, he threw the interception to Pittman, but Antoine Winfield made a fucking miraculous play on getting that interception. Like, that was some crazy athleticism on his part. So, but he still only has 5 interceptions on the year. Like, he's still a very smart player. He plays in the system well. I like the Colts at home, make a lot of noise. Mac Jones has looked great. This is one of those games where, like, give me the dog. Give me the home dog here. Give me the Colts.
I want to take the Patriots so bad. I want to take them so bad. But they're due for an L. And like I feel like this isn't a team that you want to play the time of possession game with, because if it comes down to the turnover battle, I feel like Carson Wentz can win it over Mac Jones. So like I'm taking a Colts on this one. If they don't have an answer for Jonathan Taylor, but the Patriots, they're both coming off buys. The Patriots just ran the ball 500 times, threw the ball 3. So like I'm gonna take the Colts. I feel like the Colts can keep, even though Bill's gonna have a great scheme for Jonathan Taylor, but they're coming off the bye. I feel like as long as they don't make Carson Wentz do too much, they can win this game smoothly and come out this game with a W. And this will really put them on the map for up higher in the power rankings, which don't matter, but up in the playoff like picture, like damn, like they just knocked off the number one team in the AFC, which is a title that means damn near nothing this season because there's a new one every motherfucking week. Niggas be on buys getting motherfucking number one in the AFC. How the fuck does that work?
More I'm looking into it. If you're taking the Colts, give me the Patriots because the Patriots are 6-0 on away games. They do not fuck around on the road. And
I respect it.
I didn't know the Colts were favored in this game. I didn't know the Patriots are the underdog.
Damn! I thought the Colts was dog.
So did I. I didn't expect. 9-4 Patriots, top of the AFC. I thought they would have been the favorite.
I see what you did there. You played it real smooth. You said, okay, I'm gonna get them to do this. I'm gonna get him to pick the Colts because that sounds like a good idea. And I'm gonna switch it to the Patriots. And I'm gonna call Bill and give him the practice film I got of the Colts this week. I see what you
Bill. Y'all are fucking underdogs, Bill.
Right.
They're not respecting these games.
And you disrespectful because you came with that Sith Lord. Excuse me, Sith Lord Bill. Sith Lord Bill.
I need you and Vader Jones to get shit.
Hey man, but that was a good one. You got anything else to say, man?
The only other thing, did we talk about the Dolphins and Jets? Oh no, that's for the preview. My bad. But yeah, the next time y'all see us, I'll be in Miami. Kev will be in LA. Shit's gonna be hella lit. I'm probably gonna be
LA Kev. I'm hoping I could find some. My goal is to find some yellow and purple Vans. Shout out Vans. They didn't pay us a fucking dime to say this shit, but shout out Vans because I got this shit discounted. You know what I'm saying? Stay off the walls. Modella, they didn't pay us shit to say that, but Paul is. If you see Paul's face, you can tell them shit is good.
They were delicious.
But hey, man, this right here has been another episode of the Totally Blitzed podcast. You bitch. I fuck with you and you bitch. And motherfucking anybody that sit down and took the second to watch this, use a real one. We enjoy this shit. Christmas time is coming up, man. Hey, we appreciate this. This keeps us minded. This keeps us grounded. And this keeps us wanting to do more and shit like that. So anybody that watch this shit, use a real one. We fuck with you. Keep watching. We got more and more shit coming. We figuring out this segment shits. We learning. We're only going to do more. And follow us on Twitter at the Totally Blitz, at the Totally _ Blitz. Get at us on Spotify. We not just YouTube, boys. Everything's out here, man. We fuck with you. And you bitch. So this has been another episode of the Totally Blitz podcast. I'm your boy, Kev Waterboy Savoy, a.k.a. the motherfucker whose team just won. And we finna go see the Lions this week, but that's for the preview. Hey, you know the Lions record is 1-11-1? That was like the cleanest shit I've ever seen.
Straight one across the board.
Straight ones. But hey, if you don't know, you talking to two other ones. Your boy, Paul Pick'em Winter Contra, Lil KK, a.k.a. Kev Waterboy Savoy. And this has been another episode of the Totally Blitz podcast. You bitch.
Problem with being problematic. Get the light beam on me ready for electrostatic. Don't you step into this box if you're not batting. Then my gang got tools. You could call them boy crap, man. This gang got rules, man. You better watch your passes. This ain't not.